Hey guys, what's up? This is Tiffany Jetter. Welcome to my channel. So I have a very special guest here.
Hi.
This is my mom, Penny, and this is my. We're gonna talk about breast cancer. This got my shirt on. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, right? And I'm so thankful that she wanted to. She said yes to being on this video because she's usually a very private person, right?
And kind of almost timid, a little shy, maybe.
Yeah. You don't really like she never likes her picture to be taken or anything like that. So I'm really thankful that she said yes and wanted to come on here. And I'm sorry the lighting's bad right here. We're right by a huge window. But put her over here so you can see her better. But she's just going to talk about her breast cancer. I don't think I even know what type of breast cancer, what it was called or anything. Do you know what
Yes, there is a name, but there's all kinds of cancers. Cancer is just a huge subject and a huge thing, and there's so many kinds. I had it's called HER2 breast cancer, which meant that my cells would multiply and they would be cancerous, and I was making too many cells, and I developed a lump on my right side, and
that was would you say it got there in 2014? You kind of knew that
in
was something.
2014, I didn't feel very good. I knew I was sick. It was bad timing. Well, cancer, there's no good timing, but I was just going through a divorce,
And you were working at that time.
I was working. Yeah,
you were exhausted. I remember you were taking a lot of naps.
And anyway, with a divorce, and which I wanted the divorce. I initiated it, but it was hard because he dropped me. My ex-husband now dropped me off of the insurance, and I didn't have any insurance. I knew I was sick, so I had to be sick for about eight to 10 months. And that was real hard. I think that was maybe the worst part of it, being sick and not being able to do anything about it. But I got on insurance, and I went straight to my gynecologist, and I told him I think I have a lump here.
And it was pretty big.
It was big. Actually. I read the paper this morning. There was a lady that was there's different stages of cancer, and she was stage 1 and was telling about how difficult. Well, I was stage 3. There's only 4 stages.
Yeah.
And that's stage 4, you might as well forget it because it's spread and they're not going to be able to get the cancer out. And so I was real scared, and I had my daughter that lives here in Lubbock, and she helped me a whole lot. And my other two children don't live here, so they were for the most part pretty much out of the picture. So I had her and my 2 granddaughters, and
tell them about chemo, how hard chemo was.
Oh yeah, that's coming up. That I think that is one of the worst parts of it is the chemo. It makes you so sick, and I hated my family seeing me that way and throwing up and I hope this isn't embarrassing, but I had to wear adult diapers for a while because I couldn't control anything. The cancer the chemo made me so sick, and I ended up in the hospital twice with being sick. And because I heard dogs want to
So let me do our dogs all real quick. Just 1 second. Jimmy.
She's putting them down. Guess they're fighting over bone. We're not sure dogs around here.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry about that, y'all. We got our dogs following us in here. They're probably wondering why we're talking to a window.
yeah, of course you have so many doctors you work with. Oncologist is the main one. Now my oncologist was Dr. Shalaby here in town, who is in Lubbock. That's, I think, very good, but I didn't understand why I was taking something that was making me so sick. They were trying to make the tumor smaller,
Shrink it, right?
shrink it with the chemo, and it did shrink a little bit, but really, according to the surgeon, not that much. And so I'm thinking, well, why did we fool around with that for about eight or 9 months? And it seems like I was always waiting on something.
Yeah.
So I was just so sick all the time, and I slept, and I couldn't work anymore. I couldn't stand on my feet. My legs would swell. So they did. I went ahead and had a double mastectomy, even though it was in my right breast. And
Did they say that was the best decision for you?
yes, because so many times your cancer will go into the other side, and that was the best. And I tried to pretend like I wasn't afraid, but I was. But even though I prayed, I believe in the Lord, and He helped me through it too. And so they did the surgery. They did a double mastectomy. Excuse me, I can't talk. And it was real hard to just wake up and, for 61 plus years to have breasts, and then not to have any, and be all cut up on and everything. I didn't know, and it's still not over. I still, even though they got the tumor, I feel about 80% better.
But you'll never be the same.
I'll never be the same, because they also had to give me radiation, because although they said it didn't spread, we all have lymph nodes that run down our arm in different places, and it was there a few times, and so I don't know that they got that. So they treated that with radiation. But it's been a couple of years now, and I saw my doctor last week or the week before, and I was.
We got good news, didn't we?
Yeah, my levels and cancer level was where it was supposed to be, but there's a medicine I have to take called anastrozole, and the bad thing about it makes me sick, and it makes me tired and gain weight and moody and just.
Well, we're really glad about last week or the week before that.
Oh, I'm very.
You have no extra cancer in your body now,
No.
because she has to go. What is every 6 months or every year
Every 6 months.
to recheck?
And I asked him, I said, well, when can I quit taking this medicine? And he said, 2020, and I just about fell out of the chair. But anyway, I'm grateful nonetheless.
So yeah, we're so glad you're here.
We'll take it. It really affects my joints and bones, and
Yeah.
everything you take has some kind of side effect. And I feel like I'm I'm definitely through the hardest part.
And when you say, I had to rush her 2 times when she had chemo to the ER. Well, the first time was the really bad one, don't you think?
Yeah, my
And you were,
kidneys were
our
giving
kidneys
out.
were failing that first time because of the chemo. So, I mean, chemo's there to help you get through it, but it almost kills you.
Mhm.
And it was really scary because she was in there for over a week, and I went to go visit her at the hospital. I think I went almost every morning to visit you.
No, you
And,
don't be it.
And the look in her eyes was so, I can't even explain it, like she was just, wasn't there or something.
I wasn't so much pain.
It was scary.
I had just about, I felt
All
like
you could take.
all I could take, and I was just, I mean, honestly, there for about 9 or 10 months. I didn't think I'd come out of it, especially since I was in stage 3. And, I'm still praying, and I know I don't have any cancer right now, and I've got to do everything I can to prevent it coming back, and that's what I'm going to do. You have to fight. You have to go in with a
You have
positive
to just
attitude.
keep fighting, yeah.
And you can't, and there's moments when you do cry and get upset and scared
And that's
and
okay.
sad.
That's part of it.
That's okay, but don't stop fighting. Don't give up. And that's what I've tried to do, and it has helped me. And I think cancer's a terrible thing, but there's things out there now that can prevent a lot of cancers that weren't available to us 20 or 30 years ago. Because my mother died of throat cancer, but she was a heavy smoker. I don't smoke or anything. So every day they get more knowledge and more understanding about what's going on with cancer and how to help people to where they're not in so much pain. And I can only hope that it just keeps getting better as time goes on. And thank you.
Well, thank you for telling your story and stuff.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.